She thought she understood the man she married, thought she had me all figured out like a tired book she could skim through while planning her next lie, never once imagining that behind the quiet eyes she took for granted was a mind that noticed every shift, every distant glance, every late night where her excuses thinned out faster than her stories held up. And for weeks I watched it unfold like a slow train wreck I wasn't meant to survive. Her sudden interest in gym sessions despite hating cardio, the phone she always kept flipped down, the passwords changed, the subtle scent of a man's cologne that wasn't mine clinging to her scarf like a scarlet flag. And I waited. Not because I was weak but because I needed to be sure, needed the truth to slap me across the face so violently it would leave no room for forgiveness. And my friends, they saw it before I did, warning me with those awkward glances, the hesitant "you okay, man?" and the pity in their voices that told me everyone else knew what I refused to accept until the evening it happened, the day she wrote her own ending without knowing I was already holding the pen. I had come home early deliberately, not to catch her, but to see if she'd even try to hide it anymore. And there they were, right outside our home, the place we planted the tree for our anniversary, the door we painted together in the summer heat, where I had asked her to be mine forever, her fingers gripping his jacket, her lips tangled with his like I had never existed, and she didn't even flinch when I stepped out of the car and caught her, didn't gasp, didn't pull away, didn't cry, not yet. She just turned, cool as ever, expecting the storm, expecting me to rage, to scream, to punch walls or the man she once claimed ruined her life, expecting to twist that rage into something she could control. But what she got instead was silence, the kind that cracks foundations and haunts empty rooms. And I simply looked at her, at the stranger in my wife's body, and I smiled, not the kind of smile you give when you're happy, but the kind you give when you finally see through the illusion and realize freedom is just a decision away. And she blinked like she didn't understand, because how could she? She had rehearsed 100 versions of my explosion, but none of them included me walking past her like she wasn't there, unlocking the door one last time, and stepping inside our home with the calm of a man who had already left in every way that mattered. And I packed, not with haste, not with anger, but with the quiet precision of someone reclaiming his life, taking only what was mine and leaving behind the ghost she'd created, including the ring I wore longer than she deserved. And when I walked out with a single suitcase and my dignity intact, she finally chased after me, yelling my name like it could glue together what she had smashed with her lips and betrayal, asking questions she never let me ask her. Where are you going? Why aren't you saying anything? But I just kept walking, because some answers don't deserve to be given, and I drove away from the wreckage of a marriage built on half-truths and manipulation, never looking back, not even when my phone lit up with her desperate calls or the messages from mutual friends shocked that I had actually left. And it wasn't until 2 days later that I got the message from her sister, Sarah, apologizing for what she knew, for what she never told me, saying she tried to warn her, tried to stop her, but my wife wouldn't listen, that she was chasing a fantasy with a man who had already cheated on her once before, and now she'd lost the one man who ever loved her completely. And I didn't reply, not because I hated them, but because healing meant cutting out every root that could ever drag me back into that pit. And days turned into weeks, weeks into months, and the silence she once feared became the wall she couldn't climb, and I moved on, not with revenge, not with bitterness, but with a peace she'll never know, because when you love someone deeply and